Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Friday. Welcome to Johnnie's Bite. Jummah Mubarak to all our Muslim brothers and sisters. Today will mark day 3 of our 40-day period of fasting and prayers, and it's called Lent. Today also marks the birthday of a very special individual who is also a key broadcaster in this country, Gilbert Abeku Santana. Today is your birthday. He does it with a lot of flair, and we celebrate you if it's your birthday as well. Happy birthday to you, Mbua Adi. Today also it's your birthday, CEO of Air Talk, International. Happy birthday to you. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Yesterday, unfortunately, I got the sad news of the demise of one of the young people who has been very vocal of all things about the Gun State and how well the Gun State should be. Ni Ayafiu Tete. I am told that he passed sometime last year in September, and I was only learning about it yesterday. So painful indeed. But may he rest in peace and may his family be comforted in these trying times. Now, yesterday I told you that the driver, President Akufo-Addo, as reported by the presidential correspondent of none other but the Daily Guide, was out of the country to an undisclosed location for an official assignment. Read my lips. The President of the Republic had left the country and had gone to an undisclosed location on an official assignment, according to yesterday's edition of the Daily Guide, reported by the presidential correspondent, Godfred. So yesterday, 60 and I were having a conversation and said that how do you put the fact that the president is going to an undisclosed destination but is going to do an official assignment on behalf of the people of Ghana? So we, the employers, do not know where the employee has gone, but we will be footing the bill. And that was how the Daily Guide captured it. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but clearly it doesn't add up to me. But what it also means is that once the driver is out, there will be a mate scenario. The mate will take over the steering wheel because the driver has gone out to an undisclosed location on an official assignment or on official assignment. So the driver's mate will take over. And Tilapia has a very interesting cartoon about this whole reshuffle driver's mate thing. Maybe we'll just pull out Tilapia's cartoon quickly. Let's see Tilapia. He calls it the Valentine's Day reshuffle. And in fact, the Daily Guide also captured it. Says Valentine's Day reshuffle. President jets out. After Valentine's. Let's have it. So you see about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different faces in there. They look like people you know already. You can find more of this on 3news.com. It says Jack Toronto and Trotro Station. And the two men on the side who are by the heap of refuse. Of course, Accra would have been the cleanest city in the world by this time if we had kept that simple promise. But it is still not. We are hoping that by the end of Nanado's term, Accra will still be the cleanest city. And the two men on the side, one in white says, all correct. Yeah, that one looks like Mr. Kenofori attacks. And then one sticking his neck out says, you have been appointed as the senior bookman. And then the two on the bus are watching, but there are the bags of taxes that they have to contend with. The driver's neck is sticking out of the windshield, and you can clearly tell that the tires are not stabilized. The number plate is E-Levy, and then on the right-hand side, you see still the tires are wobbling. So that is what we have here, a satire by Tilapia, the cartoonist. And so I asked the question, now that the driver is out of the scenario, the mate is the one who was taking over. Is the mate able to drive the car? Is the mate able to take us to the destination? Because so far, the driver's mate has been telling us that he is only an advisor and within the corridors of power, and given the opportunity to be in the seat, he will do better. So now that the driver is out of the jurisdiction and the mate is in the driving seat, the simple question to ask is he capable enough to take us to the place we want to go now, or he will wait? He will wait. Now, you know that there's also the news about fuel price increases that is set to happen. And I always like the throwbacks. So this was on the 3rd of December 2016. 3rd of December 2016. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia originally posted, please put it up. Enough of my face. I'm not the celebrity here. It says, to the taxi and trotro driver who has been hit by high cost of fuel and insurance, you have a chance to vote for change. To the taxi and trotro driver who has been hit by high cost of fuel and insurance, you have a chance to vote for change. That was the hashtag. This was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who now says is the driver's mate, on the 3rd of December 2016. And it appears Dr. Bawumia spoke about on every subject. So when the matters come up, you just have to sometimes go into the archives, look for what he said then, and then juxtapose it to what he's saying now, and then ask yourself the question, okay, fuel no to be taught, as Nanado asked us, and then you ask yourself, insurance no to be tia, and then you ask yourself those two questions. So that's from the archives for you. This is what Dr. Bawumia had said in the past. What is he saying now is a question to ask. But you know, Dr. Bawumia couldn't have said these things if the NPP hadn't gotten a manifesto that was going to drive the 2016 campaign. The leader of that campaign, indeed, and the leader, flag bearer, was Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who still remains our president. And this was the preamble of his social contract, which is the manifesto. Now, please enlarge it for me. It's the 2016 manifesto with a beautiful photo of the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It says, my vision for Ghana. It reads, my vision for Ghana. Our nation is in crisis. A crisis created and sustained by the mismanagement, incompetence and corruption of the Mahama-led National Democratic Congress NDC government. Economic conditions are worsening by the day, and there is so much suffering in the land. But Ghana does not have to be like this. Ghana deserves the best. I have dedicated my life to public service to change Ghana for good. As president, with the help of the Almighty God, I will be committed to a different kind of government, one that governs in the national interest, not for private gain. One that governs in the national interest, a different government that governs in the national interest, and one that is not for private gain. But when you think about the fact that you have spent $12 million of money that you claim you don't have on a botched Ejapa deal, you ask yourself, was that the different kind of government which was not for personal gain, but in the national interest? Because that is not the best way to protect the national interest. You ask that question first. And then you also ask yourself the many, many different questions that come up each time you hear about the reports from the Auditor General's office, and you ask yourself, is that in the best interest of the country? And then you also ask yourself, if we are padding on all these ministers and all these Article 71 holders, when they are done and they are going away, will we be paying them ex gratia as poor as a country as we are? And is that in the national interest? And is that the different kind of government that was promised? Take me to Chairman Freddie Blay, if you have. He also was chairman at the time, acting chairman of the NPP. Of course, he had left the Convention People's Party and joined the New Patriotic Party. These days, when you ask questions about the economy and the rest, and Beatrice did an interview with Chairman Freddie Blay, I disagree with you on that, So let's read what he also said. That's the chairman's remarks, and he's a very important man in the New Patriotic Party at this time. Now, presently, he even talks about the fact that the reshuffle really would not change anything largely. And I'm paraphrasing. Chairman's remarks: Ghana, our dear country, is at the crossroads. So listen, President said the nation is in crisis. He said we are at the crossroads. We find ourselves in a messy economic and social crisis. So crisis has been repeated. We are still in crisis. That we know for a fact. About 8 years ago, no one would have imagined that Ghana could slip down this much from being one of the fastest growing economies in the world to a highly indebted and highly distressed country. Now I ask you, 8 years ago, could you have ever imagined if we would have been in this mess? Because we were entreated to vote for change. Now it says Ghana under the NPP government, led by President J. Kufuor, moved from a highly indebted poor country to a middle-income country as of 2008. Bravo. The question is, what could have gone so wrong to bring us to our current state or situation? We are honestly convinced and strongly insist that this is due to the mismanagement, incompetence, and corruption of the Mahama-led NDC government. On December 7, 2016, the people of Ghana will have an opportunity to end the many years of hardship under the Mahama-led NDC government and elect Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as the next president of Ghana. There is hope, in capital letters, for those of you listening on radio, for Ghana. Under the presidency of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Ghana will rise again and be on the right path towards economic prosperity and good and accountable governance. Accountable governance. A government that remains accountable to the people and doesn't get angry when you ask questions about accountability. So Chairman Freddie Blaze says that we will be back on economic prosperity and good and accountable governance in a stable and democratic environment. Democracy includes freedom of speech. Democracy includes asking duty bearers questions, and accountability includes duty bearers not waiting to be asked questions, but duty bearers providing the answers to the questions that the people may have. Accountability includes duty bearers knowing that I have gone to borrow so and so money on your behalf. I have gone to break down La General Hospital, and the people do not have to come and fight me tooth and claw and beg me before I come to rebuild La General Hospital. That's accountable governance. Accountable governance is not hiring people to be on social media to be attacking you when they themselves have not eaten spent a peswa from the $12 million that we, for example, spent on the botched Ejapa deal. So that's accountable governance. This manifesto for change, and again, change is in block capitals, emphasis, is a blueprint for lifting the country from the abyss and reverse the misfortunes of the NDC government under John Mahama. It is my humble duty as national chairman to call on all Ghanaians to vote for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for president in the 2016 elections. May God bless Ghana and us all. Thank you, Freddie Blaze. He signed. Now, I don't want to believe that Mr. Freddie Blaze didn't believe the words that he had spoken. I don't want to believe that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo didn't believe the words that he had spoken. And even better, I don't want to believe that Dr. Bawumia didn't believe the words that they had spoken and the cause for hope and for change and for economic progress and prosperity and for accountable governance. These days, when you ask questions of accountability, you are treated like an enemy. And somebody put it on Twitter that prior to 2016, each time you ask questions of accountability, you are seen as a patriotic citizen. These days, when you ask questions of accountability, and you see a lot of pseudo accounts that were created about 2-3 months ago, about half a year ago, and they all have a certain DP, and you will see all of them. They don't add on to the discourse. They don't have answers to the questions you're asking. All they are doing is attacking and insulting. And we don't build a democracy in that manner. So, for example, one of the questions of accountability that I have this morning is this one.
Johnny's Vice.
19th May 2017. We will deliver Tadi Paga rail line. Vice President Baumia. And this Tadi Paga train line or rail line was promised by Mr. Jogate, or reiterated by Mr. Jogate at the vetting table. This was a promise that was made by President Akufo-Addo, reiterated by Mr. Jogate, who is currently a member of parliament. Unfortunately, we'll lose him in the next parliament or so. But he had also wanted to be flag bearer, so he would have been in Dr. Baumia's position originally. And we all were told about the essence of the rail line. And in fact, those who have lived in this country, the likes of the Kwame Jantoes, and if you ask the Nyao Tamaklos, and if you have the Kwame Pienims, if you ask all of those people who lived during those era, they'll tell you that, I mean, they used to enjoy train rides. I used to go to Nsawam. My dad used to take me to Nsawam. We'll go through Pakro and all those places. We will take a rail line, come back. So I had also benefited from it. So if anybody tells me that we will deliver a rail line, especially from Takrady to Paga, where you don't see heavy stuff being carried on our road and damaging our roads, which is always a problem. And then rails will travel faster because you not have traffic and all those conversations. It would help to improve the economy, turn it around from a Gojisbekan economy to an economy of production and not taxation and all of that. We will be happy. So based on that, the people will vote because they want this. Now, we are in the dying days of an 8-year period of governance. So we will deliver the Tadi Paga rail line. Vice President said that on 19th May 2017. The question we ask now is that he said the president will leave that as a legacy to the people of Ghana. So the question we ask this morning is, where is that legacy? This one, enye bufo, it's not anger. It is not a question of anger. It's not a question of insults. It's a question of we will deliver Tadi Paga rail line, Vice President. Now we are asking you, you are almost done with your 8-year period. In fact, you even said we're going to do it in 4 years, and it was going to create jobs and then bridge the connect between the south and the north. So this morning we're asking the very simple question. Where is the rail line? Or you are working towards the building of that rail line, because today the people in Paga, and my friends in Tadi and all those around the Kumasi line, those around the Tadi line, those around the Buno areas, they will be wondering where the rail line is. So, a question of accountability. Where is the rail line? Dr. Baumia, you said we will deliver. So, the question we're asking you this morning is, where is your scorecard? Another one that we'll ask is when Mr. Kennedy Dupont said that we will even jail Mr. Woyomi, even in death. There's one, Jen, there's that screenshot. We will even jail Woyomi, even in death. And yesterday we were told how a state attorney has been disbarred because he had received in his wife's account, 400,000 Ghana cedis of our money. Enlarge this for me, 400,000 Ghana cedis of our money. So the General Legal Counsel has disbarred him. Now it says NPP will prosecute Woyomi even if he dies. Kennedy Japan, another flag bearer hopeful of the NPP. Monday, the 7th of November, 2016. Kennedy Japan has served notice to businessman Alfred Agbesi Woyomi to voluntarily refund the judgment debt money dubiously paid to him during the Mahama administration or find himself to blame if the NPP recaptured power. He assured Ghanaians in strong terms that the NPP, if handed the presidency at the December polls, would ensure that Mr. Woyombe pays back the judgment debt cash posthumously if he failed to refund it alive. So there's the conversation about the Attorney General, etc. And there are many different voices on this Woyomi matter. We even had a song for it. Woyome, 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 Gangantwa, Wonchedi. We had a song. And the people were told how corruption was in there. Well, the General Legal Counsel has ticked one box for us. But the question this morning is, why is Mr. Williams still walking free? Why haven't we jailed him? Why haven't we collected the money? That was another promise to get the people to vote. It's a question of accountability. It is not fight. It is not in Tokwa. It is not small boy radio Mbua dio. It is not, no. It's a question of accountability, accountable governance. As lawyer Blay himself said, that's all I'm doing this morning. Have a good morning.